Oh, Daniel,
Howdy.
thanks for helping my project.
Yes, sir.
Could you say a couple of words about yourself?
I'm currently a 5th degree black belt. I own my own martial arts club. It's called 40AT Martial Arts. I've written a couple books. Recently, just in less than a month, our first child was born on August
Wow.
19th.
Congratulations.
Thank
you
you
look
very much.
amazingly rested for that.
Well, I manage. It's up and down. So we have our moments. I have a master's degree in accounting as well. Just
wow.
enjoying life.
My wife's an accountant, so
Okay.
if you're looking for... so what got you into martial arts?
Actually, friends. So I started in martial arts back in junior high if my friends were doing it. And so I started with them doing it, really enjoyed it, and actually wanted to have my own school at one time. And so I got my black belt. I actually went all the way up to like 3rd degree. I really enjoyed it, but kind of falling out with my previous instructor, so I took a long break.
Okay.
When I had changed jobs, I was like, man, I really want to get back into it. So I found another school, and the instructor there was really great, took me under, and then she wanted to retire and actually took over the club from her.
Wow, that's
It's
exciting.
been 5.5 years now since I've taken over the club.
Wow, and you're accepting new students?
Always.
Always, okay.
Yes.
Hopefully that's due to people advancing and moving on as opposed to, attrition and stuff.
That's both. That's both.
Yeah.
We have both. I had one family just a little over a month ago. The whole family got their 1st degree black belts.
Wow.
All 5. Mom, dad, and the 3 daughters all did it together. All got their black belts together.
Do you participate in like competitions and stuff?
I do. I do
Okay.
a lot. I do competitions. I do a lot of trainings. I have not gotten the title of world champion yet. I have trained one of my students actually get world champion a few years ago.
That's amazing. Well,
Yes.
I had a few questions about the moon
Yes,
I wanted to ask you. First off, did you know that NASA's planning to send astronauts back to the moon?
I'm sure. I did not know that, but I'm sure glad about that.
And whenever you think about humanity in 200 years in the future, do you see us having like martial arts schools on the moon and Mars and places like that, or only here on the Earth?
I'm kind of mixed on that. I do love the exploration, but I also like to kind of leave stuff alone. So I love like them going to the moon and exploring and things like that. But I'm not sure that I really want to colonize the moon and just have so many people living on the moon. Now, granted, there may be spaceships out in the thing that we can do the martial arts, especially in the zero gravity, will really help out there. And as they grow and send people out to our solar system and beyond,
I was just kind of curious if maybe you could expand a little bit on the value you see of leaving things the way they are versus sort of making use of them.
It just depends, because the world was given us by God, so we're here set on the world to claim dominion over the world. And we do not so well sometimes, we pollute and do a lot of stuff. And going to the moon, I don't want to see that polluted and everything like that. And I don't even want to damage the moon, because I'm not sure how much people realize, but the moon affects all the tides, the waves, and everything like that. It's the only reason that we're habitable is have the moon. We have a special, how we spin creates life. And a lot of that is due to the moon, how we spin. If the moon changes its trajectory drastically, we probably won't even be here. We probably couldn't even survive that way.
So I wanted to give a thought to you and get your reaction.
Okay.
Okay. If the universe wasn't created for us, who was it created for?
God.
But I mean, like, isn't it like giving a gift and somebody only doesn't even unwrap it type of thing? And
well, we're here for the glory of God. So he created us. If we say we created it, it's created for him, then we're here to give glory back to him. So,
I just think about that parable that Jesus said about the landowner that went on a trip.
Correct.
And he called his 3 servants, and he gave one like 10 pieces of gold, and one like 5.
10, 5, and 1.
10, 5, and 1. Okay.
Yeah, the 10 essentially doubled, the 5 doubled, and the 1 buried it.
And so I feel like that if we don't go and take advantage or make use of the entire universe as best as we can, then I feel like that puts us in the 1 category.
You have to also think about is what use would become detrimental to it. I mean, if we start taking resources away from the moon and things like that, did that affect the flow that we can't even survive here? You know, are we going to trash it well enough that we just keep moving on, as opposed to understanding the natural beauty? I'm not sure if you've ever seen the movie Evan Almighty, when he builds the ark.
Well,
Yeah, he's talking to
I
God.
don't know. He builds the ark. Is it this the one with Jim Carrey? Or
No, the first one is Bruce Almighty with Jim Carrey. The second one is Evan Almighty.
I haven't seen Evan.
So he like builds the ark, and it only floods a small area.
Okay.
But he's talking to God, and like they're showing the area where apparently he lives. And he's like, "Wow, this is so beautiful," and God says, "This is how it's supposed to be."
Okay.
You know, so there's the harmony of taking care of the earth, but also not destroying it. So we were put on earth to take care of the earth. So if we go to the moon, we need to take care of the moon. We don't want to do so much that we cause damage to it, is my thoughts.
Yeah, it definitely should be responsible in
Yes,
what
sir.
we do. So
Yes, sir.
well, so Elon Musk, he wants to build a 1 million person city on Mars by 2050. Jeff
Okay.
Bezos has a space company, and they want to create like the ability to take all those earth harming activities or life harming activities and move them out into space, like the energy production, the mineral extraction, heavy industry. I was just wondering if either one of those visions either synergizes some of the things you think or kind of repulses you. I mean, what's your reaction?
A little bit repulsed, but I also understand Mars I probably wouldn't care so much about because that is, but it's also you have to look at the planets and how they work. The moon is very vital to the Earth, so I don't want to do anything to the moon. But as we move out, but when you talk about energy production, we really just need to look inside ourselves and ask ourselves, really, how much energy are we using? And how can we get the most energy out of what we are using? You know, as we have all these electronics and everything else that use so much electricity all day long, maybe just doing some exercises or doing small things to help generate electricity. If we all do a little bit, it would really help out, as opposed to looking to somebody else to figure out the whole problem that we have.
I just, as a mental exercise, if you could imagine like the sun and how much energy it's producing, and if you could imagine a sphere that had the circumference of Earth's orbit, right? And that sphere would represent pretty much all the energy that the sun's producing. And then you take a cross section of the Earth, and that represents like the amount of energy that's actually been absorbed by the Earth. And that ratio is like 1 to, I don't know, it's several million, you know, because, and so it's like, and if you think about that, little bitty amount of energy actually is responsible for all weather, you know, all the oil, all everything that's pretty much happening on the Earth. And it's so, I mean, it's almost like we have unlimited energy there. We just have to figure out how to harness it.
Yes, you would have to figure a way to harness it and bring it back.
Or maybe use it where it is, like
on space.
data centers, you know, industrial processing and stuff. There's no reason why that necessarily needs to be done on Earth. You know, that could be done in like floating, sun orbiting facilities type of thing.
Yes, I have to wonder how much is actually orbiting the Earth right now. You know, that we can actually still see the sky.
That's true. Especially, it gets scary whenever you look at the orbital debris pictures, and it's like but you know, the matter scale is like always a problem.
Yes.
If you could, would you take a trip to space?
I would, definitely in a heartbeat.
How far would you be willing to go?
As far as I could.
And so if they're like, hey, we need to open up a karate school and do some accounting here on Mars, can you come, Daniel? You'll be like...
the only thing is I'm married with a kid, so I'll just have to consider that, but it'd definitely be considered. Yeah.
Would it take a lot of convincing to have them come with you? Or they'd
I
be
don't
like,
know.
I'm up for it?
I don't know on that part. I don't know on that part.
Oh, do you think you'll have a chance to go to space in your lifetime? Even just to sub-Earth orbit?
I would like to, but I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate your time. It was,
Yes,
it
sir.
was so fun to get to talk to you.
Yes, sir.
And thank you.
Yes, sir.